Howdy folks, how are y'all doing? My name is Rees, and welcome back to the Minecraft 2025 Let's Play Adventure. Today is the first day of a brand new month, the first day of March, the first day of the last month of the first quarter of 2025, and it's going to be a glorious month. We have a lot to do this month, and today we're not really doing any of it. Today, we're going to discuss our plans, much like we did on the first day of February. I want to take a moment to just sit back, relax, and focus on the goals ahead. We're going to move on to cherry wood for our signs, because I feel like that is appropriate, because spring is in the air. Spring hasn't sprung just yet, but it's in the air. I can feel it. I can feel the warmth on my flesh, and that's pretty much all I've got, is the warmth on my flesh. I have nothing else to contribute to that sentence. But let's create about a dozen signs, and we'll carry those outside, and we'll discuss what our goals are. My mind really did just draw a blank, by the way. I had no idea where I wanted to go with that sentence. Alright, so here is our project board, and I've got a few different things that I want to do in the month of March. And for the starter, the first thing that we want to do is build creeper egg. Now, I've talked about the creeper egg. I think people have been confused about what I mean by it. The creeper egg is not an actual egg. It's not like a spawn egg or anything like that. The creeper egg, I guess spoilers for the idea that I've got, but we're going to build up into the sky, and we're going to build a big egg-shaped building designed specifically for creepers. And the reason it's got to be in the air is because we got to be at least 128 blocks away from any other place where mobs could spawn. And then the egg will be designed such that only creepers can spawn inside of it because of certain height and width limitations of the spawning area. And then there will be a platform where I can hang out. We're going to build like a little floating island, and the egg's going to be on top of it. This huge structure up in the air. And that's where we're going to farm creepers for gunpowder, so that we can build our rockets and fly all over the world, never have to worry about running out. I don't have to farm creepers at night over at the estates or whatever. This is the plan. This is going to be a multi-stage process. It's going to take a couple of weeks. We're going to have to travel to different biomes in order to get some of the materials we need. We're going to have to clear out, because I want to build a lot of it out of copper, so we're going to clear out the trial chamber underneath my house, basically break that thing down, which is something else I want to do. I want to create a trial chamber spawn trap. So basically a place to, we have 4 or 5 of the peculiar green skeleton spawners down there in the trial chamber, and I want to clear that area out and have all of them drain into a single funnel where I can very quickly dispatch of all of them. And then that way, every 30 minutes or so, I can go back down there and collect more of the poison arrows, because I think those are going to be useful in the future. So that's something else we want to do. But creeper egg, in fact, maybe let's break that up into build floating island. And then that way, you know, when I get that part done, at least it'll feel like we've achieved something. Apparently, you cannot have... See, I thought that maybe we would be able to have the path under the sign if we put the path down first. But the answer to that is no, in fact, you can't, so that's a shame. But the floating island's going to go up there. We want to build Yates Estate. This is a project that I've had in mind for a long time. I want to get rid of all the villager housing in the Yates Estates and replace it with one massive estate building that is super secure. Monsters can't spawn inside of it, on top of it, around it. The villagers living inside of it will be completely safe, and they'll be able to breed more easily there. So we're going to have like breeding pods or whatever. We'll do Yates Estates breeding pods. We're going to call them that. They're not actually going to be pods, but there you go. Build Yates Estate's breeding pods inside of the Yates Estate. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to absolutely adore that. That's a bit of a strange sentence. We might not absolutely adore it. We want to build a barn and barnyard, and it doesn't need to be capitalized. I don't know why I capitalized it. But basically, I want to get rid of this obnoxiously loud contraption here and all of these animals. I want to relocate them down over there somewhere. Maybe clear off that section of beach, or maybe right there where all the weed is. Somewhere else. Get them somewhere else, out of sight, build a proper big red barn with the white roof and all of that, and the white trim and all that. I think that'll be fun. And then we can have this area cleared out, and I don't have to listen to creatures every time I walk out the door. But barn and barnyard, that's something that I want to get done this month. Explore Ocean Temple. I don't remember what they're actually called. We're going to put in brackets S in case we want to do more than one of them. But explore Ocean Temples, and we've got quite a few of them. There's one over there. I'm pretty sure there's one right there is what that is. And then like a couple, like there's one you can just barely see and another one over there. And I think there's one that direction right there. So there's a lot of them that we can explore. That's probably not all of them as well. There's probably more, but I would like to do that. The final thing I want to do is defeat Wither, except that's not the last thing that I want to do. We're actually out of room on the board. And we need more room. We're going to have to expand this thing a little bit. We're going to add 4 more up here because I realize there's some sub-goals we need to perform. And we can add more. You know, we can absolutely add more as we go, as the month progresses, if there's other things we want to do. As we knock things off the board, we'll make room for other projects. But I want to, this month, like I did last month, like I did in February, I want to complete the board and have the board be completely empty by the end of the month, and we can fill it with all new goals and projects at the start of next month. So do I have stone bricks? I think that everything just goes in the stone chest at the moment. Yeah, let's get stone stairs. That could be a fun time. And I think we also need scaffolding, which I've been keeping inside of here recently, just because that made the most sense. If you folks were ever wondering like how much episode planning I do in advance, I don't. I have idea planning that I do, but I don't sit down and chart out like, okay, it's March. Episode 60 is going to be this. You know, I don't do that necessarily. I kind of just, I'll have an idea for what I want to do in an episode, and then depending on whether or not that gets done, I will kind of plan the next episode. You probably heard me say it many times, this is not what I wanted to do this episode. It's not that was a part of some sort of grand long-term plan, much more so that that's what I planned to do when I sat down in that moment. And it didn't quite pan out. But there is no sort of grand plan going on. Okay. Build snowy outposts. So that's something we need to do. We need to collect snow and blue ice. I'm not even going to say that we are going to build a blue ice highway. I just want to collect some. That's going to require that we build a pickaxe with Silk Touch on it, so I reckon we'll get that done pretty quick. Build a beacon. So obviously that's going to require that we do, defeat the Wither first. Also, all of these are 2-line except for that one, so let's correct that mistake. We're going to do defeat Wither, and we'll do Withers. I want to try to figure out a clever way to defeat it quickly and easily. And then if that's farmable, that's going to be such a pain because we've got to get so many skulls. If there's a better way to get skulls, let me know. It's going to be a bit of a pain, I think. We're just going to spend a lot of time in the nether. So build snowy outpost, collect snow and blue ice, build a beacon, build creeper egg, trial chamber spawn trap, build Yates estates, build ye breeding pods, build floating island, which is part of that. I mean, that's got to come first. Build a barn and barnyard, explore the ocean temples, defeat withers. These are obviously not in any particular order. Let's see. Build better nether armor. Again, there's other things I want to get done this month, but I think what we're going to do is just stick with those 12. And as we clear things out, I can add different objects to it because there's other things I want to do. Like I want to have tunnels going through the mountain. I want to have elevators. We've been talking about that since January. We're going to build one eventually. But the problem is, taking time to build an elevator it's just not worth it when there's so many other projects to get finished. Let's take a nap. We can at least explore, because that's pretty much all we've got planned for today was to talk about our plans for the future. But we can explore really quickly the principles behind an elevator. So if we wanted to get some soul sand, also going to need some kelp for this, I believe. A magma block, potentially bone mill. Oh wait, bones are down here, that's right. Maybe signs, and we'll just kind of demo how this would normally work. Now where we've talked about putting the elevators in the past was right here, but I feel like it might be better. I don't know where else to put them is the problem. The way I've built this floor, it's definitely storage focused. We talked about having them here, which we could still put them there. There's not much more expansion you can do that direction. We've already figured that out. That's the edge of if we go through here, there's cobblestone here because that's it. That's, you know, you can't really go any further back that way. If we dig down to the floor below here, oh dear. See, here's our nether portal, which we've just sort of stumbled upon now. Oh, look, iron. Always a nice find. Always, even now, late in the game, iron. Always a nice find. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to have the dirt down here, like that, and then we put down signs. I've never actually built one of these, by the way. I've only ever seen them built in YouTube Shorts. So I've not been joking. Every time I've talked about, oh yeah, I saw this in a YouTube show. I hope you folks don't think that's a bit, right? Like, it's not meant to be a bit. There's a lot of things about modern Minecraft that I just don't know personally, that I have just learned because I'll be swiping along, having a time, and then information is just presented to me. Hold on, where is the, there we go. I was gonna say, I need a bucket. Is it done? It's finished. Finally. Even so, even if I've never done something personally, I do understand a lot of the principles. Because a lot of these things have been around for a very long time. So using signs or ladders to keep water from coming out of a space like this. Actually, I don't even think we need that here necessarily. That would be more so for the bottom. I take it back. It's absolutely necessary. Although, it kind of looks like it's only necessary on that top one. Yeah. There you are. Meaning there's other options. We could just have a block be right there. But anyway, this is obviously pretty quick if you just hold down shift. But we want to have all of these be solid blocks, not flowing blocks. So we've got to plant ourselves some kelp. And that is when those other signs up top are going to be handy. So we can plant kelp, and you can just right-click to grow more kelp on top of it. Or we can use all of this bone meal that we've got. And I think from the bottom, you can just right-click all the way up. See, now that these are solid blocks and not flowing blocks, they're going to present an issue. So that's why you got to have them all there. But now that this has grown all the way to the top, it's no longer flowing blocks of water. It is solid water. So you can come back down here and break the kelp. And we can replace the kelp either, and for the sake of demonstration, we will do soul... I use soul soil. I think it's the same as soul sand. It does not appear to be the same as soul sand. Well, that's good to know, I guess. You can plant things in it, and you can catch it on fire, and it looks nice, but it is not soul soil. Oh, I left all the soul sand downstairs. That's right, because I was using it for fires. Okay, we'll just go grab some more from the nether. What's the worst that could happen? I don't have my gold helmet, but whatever. It's fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Do I even need to wander out here and get some? There's probably some if I go downstairs into the mining area. There's probably a ton of soul sand just sitting in chests. And what I'm doing right now is probably a waste of my time running down this hallway, because it takes a long time to get out of this miserable biome we're in, where there's actually like sand and blocks and netherrack and not just misery and depression. There's no soul sand over here. What am I doing? You know what I also just remembered is right outside this door, there is an absolute ocean of soul sand within a couple of hops distance. No, this is soil! Hold on, this looks like sand. Yeah. Well, what the heck? Where did you come from? What are you doing here? Get out of here, you. Shoo. Shan't tolerate this. I shan't tolerate it no more. So now, with soul sand, that's what we're looking for, is the bubbles. So if we stand inside of here now, holy smokes, that is faster than I anticipated it being. Goodness me! I had no idea it was that quick. Okay, well, let's build the counterpart over here. And this is pretty much the exact same process. We start with our dirt, and we're going to use the kelp again. Although this time we actually have enough kelp that we don't have to use the bone mill to make more. We can just swim up there and manually place it if we felt so inclined. We do need water, so I'll have to go back up. Well, no, I don't have to go back up top and get water. I can just grab water right here. I hate that it plays the entire sound effect, even if you don't go through the portal. Like, why? Why can you not stop it when it's very clear that I'm not going through? So I guess we will... Good gosh, it's so fast! Head back up to the top here is what I was going to say. Not put that there, because that's wrong, cringe, and embarrassing. Put that there, and we are out. No, I don't know why we're using these blocks. I have no... You know what? It's because we had leftover birch from the signs out front is why we're using these. We probably won't in the future. And birch is not the only... Sorry. Signs are not the only option you have. You can make other blocks that will also allow you to pass through while blocking the flow of water. But this is what I had, so this is what we're using for now. do this number again. Like I said before, we're going to manually place all of these. And the reason we're doing this is because it, for some reason, transforms the flowing water blocks into solid water blocks. I guess because kelp can't be waterlogged within a flowing block. And then once you're done with that, you just break all of these. And we'll zoom up there and collect those later. But for now, break that and replace it with the magma block. The only danger there being that it could potentially injure you, but let's head up to the top. Absurdly fast. Collect all of these. Going down is not nearly as quick. It does also burn you on the bottom. I wonder if there's a way to prevent that. Let's go back up. We gotta have these everywhere now. That's how we get up and down everywhere. Oh, it's gonna be great. We're gonna have these, because right now, like, well, hold on. Let me figure this problem out. I have two ideas. I've not tested either of them, but I'm wondering if maybe a pressure plate would work to stop you from being burned without messing up the water. Or maybe a slab if it can be waterlogged. I don't know about either of those. Also, it doesn't burn you that badly, so you don't have to get out super quickly. But we'll see what happens here. So, that still burns you, and also it obviously ruins the flow of water. So when we break this, that's going to be that's not going to work properly anymore. Yeah, because it's no longer a flowing water. Fix that by just putting another block right there on the bottom. And we should see bubbles again. So about this. Okay, so that can be waterlogged, but it also blocks the bubbles. So at the end of the day, holy smokes, that took off. It didn't get rid of the full block, though. I mean, I guess we could just set this one block lower and get out before we make contact with it, I suppose is an option. Although, again, we will have to go get some more water. So set that there. Get that block. And then, bloop. Wait till we get bubbles again. It's not nearly as quick as the going up. The going up is crazy fast. But the flowing down is a bit more controlled. And you can get out before you get burned. Which is good. Okay. Only concern I have now is if you want to get off on a certain floor and you have one of these going the whole height of the world, I don't think you could be able to make it. I think you move way too fast going up. Going down is not a bigger problem. So you can have, because like I got out of there long before. I mean, we've got such a tiny gap there too. It's just too high. I don't, going up though, like the sheer speed with which you, like I hit the ceiling before I make it out. There you go, we built an elevator. Are you all happy now? I finally did it. I wish that I had known in advance that I wanted to build those. We could have designed the house differently with the idea of having those around here. I guess it's not really too late. No, it is though. It is too late, because where would we put them? Where they wouldn't collide with something down here. If I wanted to have them in this corner, for example, it's fine. If we need to get down, it's into the basement. It's not that big a problem to like make that little journey to the elevators. Okay, well I've messed up and now I'm going to die. Yeah, I can't actually swim out of this. So that's a problem. So you have to be diligent, unfortunately, because once you get down a lower level, you can't get back out. I don't think you can burn to death because you're underwater. But you got to be holding forward and get out before you actually get stuck down there. I wonder if there's any block we could put there. You know what? Nah, never mind. But that's March, friends. That's March. That's what we got planned here, people. Those are the sorts of fun things we're going to be doing. I'm going to make this look nicer, and it's going to go to the foundations of the earth. I'm not joking, by the way. We're actually going to have that go. I mean, it might need to be multiple different raise ones. We'll have to experiment more with it. But we want to have that go all the way down, and we want to have it drop off at different points along the way. So why is this one in a different place than the others? We want to have some different drop-offs, right? So we want to have it drop off here at the level where the zombie spawner and everything is. And we want to have it drop off all the way down here at the bottom, where the underground chasm is, right about here. Yeah, right there. It will reduce a lot of staircase use and just make getting around a lot quicker and easier. So that's what we've got to get done. Oh, you know what? It's the other things that we've got to do, right? Finished Dead Bull Island. Got to get it built up. We also need to expand our own island. I think we probably could bring it out to the very edges here, make it a little bit bigger. And then we have these sort of shallow areas that we want to build up and turn into more islands. There's also like what could be almost islands right over here. I'm looking at all these shallow areas and I'm thinking, yeah, We could widen these islands out. We could make a bunch of new land. I know it seems ridiculous when we've got endless land around us that we just keep expanding out this ocean. I want to see what lies over here. I want to actually fly all the way around the edges and fill all of this in and know what it looks like properly. All right, you know what? Final thing we're going to do in today's episode. We're getting rid of the outpost names. I present to you a new map of the world where villages have a nicer color. All right? So let's go through what stayed the same. We still have the Yates Estates, McDouling, L Village, A Snake's Rest, Pajalik Village, okay, Gamer225's Burrow, and Ash Township. But now added, because we've decided that, outposts and villages no longer necessary. There's enough villages that we need more names. So we now have Old Man Game's Outpost, which is just the name of the village entirely, and also probably going to end up being the name of the outpost that I build here when I start harvesting this mountain for all of this precious, precious blue ice. Is that a portal ruin there? That's fun. And then across the sea, we've started naming some villages. So we now have Ramistic Village right here. I wanted to call it Ramistic's Rest, and I might still rename it that because I like that name idea for like this lovely little village. Like long ago, in time out of mind, someone named Ramistic settled here and said, my days of adventuring and exploration are over. This is my rest amid these beautiful cherry blossoms. And then it was just known as Ramistic's Rest. And maybe it's fine that we have a Snake's Rest as well. And then we have Kitsville. I almost wanted to name this one Lucas's Landing instead of Kitsville, but Kitsville sounded fun, and it's fun to say Kitsville. And maybe this is South Kitsville. Or we could have all of this be the Kitsville Borough, or something like that. The Hamlet of Kitsville. I don't know. Kitsville's just fun to say. That's why I went with that one. But there we go. And we do still have Gilliam's Island and Deadbull 5K's Island and Fortress Vasselgen down here. Hopefully we're all appreciative of this nice new color scheme. I'm thinking about changing the Fortress Vasselgen as well to not be quite as dark. And also, there's our map so far. There's our weird splotchy map that we've gotten so far. Again, another goal for the end of the month. We're going to, by the end of the month, explore all the way around our little ocean biome and see everything there is to see in the direct area. And then keep in mind, there's so much more to see even beyond that. We've barely scratched the surface of what this world has to offer. Until next time, until tomorrow. Thank you folks for watching. God bless you, and I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye!